Yeah. So 2022 was an interesting year. And to put it in perspective, 2021 was the fastest growing advertising year that we had ever seen. The market grew in the United States some 25%. Digital grew over 33%. So no matter what part of marketing you were in, it grew. Made everybody look very smart. They spent a lot of money. 22, we came into the year with the same digital tailwinds, growing fast. Direct mail was growing. Everything was still growing right up until about June. And the markets had been losing confidence in the economy. And advertising and marketing growth is very tied to macroeconomic concerns. And obviously we had geopolitical events, Russia, Ukraine, and then we had the gas shortage. And then you started to hear, and Fed was raising interest rates, trying to cool inflation. And by the summer, it really took hold. And the market started to lose confidence, and we started to see a decline in spend. So your year was kind of two halves. You had a good half of the year that grew very strongly. And the second half of the year, the third quarter, we started to turn down. As you ramp into the holidays, the Christmas holidays here, usually you get a pickup in the fourth, but it was very uneven. And so media spend was off. We got some of the tailwind from the World Cup helped.
Yeah.
But overall, if we looked at the first half of the year, you had a market that was still growing close to 15%. And in the second half of the year, you had a market that was flat. So while overall the numbers, if you look at them 5 years from now, look okay, and so the growth, there was really a lot of noise underneath. And, just take a channel like paid social. Still growing, but you started to see Meta stall out still because of Apple's ATT. You saw headwinds at Snap. You had the Elon Musk adventure at Twitter. So don't even know where to put that one. And TikTok taking advertising share in paid social. So while social grew, the share of social within started to move around. So there was a lot of that. Direct mail actually had a good year. As direct consumer marketers looked at the CPM increases in paid social and paid search that had been going on for 5 straight years, they were looking for another performance media channel where they could really control audience. And direct mail, they said, there's a new channel. It's called direct mail. We should try that. So there was a little of what's old has become more in favor. And then probably the biggest story of the year was in the United States market, we have so much fragmentation in video. So that there are some 400 cable providers and video distribution, what they call MVPDs. And we saw a ramp of connected television using programmatic methods and direct sales methods to insert video commercials for the home screen, not just the mobile or the laptop. And CTV, which had grown to about a $14 billion category, mostly through the COVID period. So it continued its growth, grew like 27% plus. It was supposed to go from $14.4 billion to $19 billion. It wound up somewhere in the neighborhood of $21 billion. So it not only was it growing organically, it also started to take some of the share from TV, from broadcast linear TV. So that trend, probably the other big trend of the year was retail media marketplaces. When we hear retail media, we think Amazon. It wasn't just Amazon, it was Walmart. It was all the other grocery chains. There were auto groups like Carvana, where they started to take not just media advertising dollars to advertise on site, or what they call on platform. That platform could be hosted by Walmart or Amazon, et cetera. And they also took trade promotion dollars that had traditionally been in the shopper marketing category. They moved some of those over. And it has become the fastest growing category for media in general. Lots of technology investment, lots of investment in first party audiences. And so those two areas, CTV and retail media, grew the fastest. But overall, it was a good year. The other thing that was kind of interesting is agency spend stayed very strong throughout the year. So even though we started to see the market tailing off, we're now tracking 23 channels for marketing and advertising. You keep adding channels, every other year there seems to be another channel that as a marketer we need to pay attention to. And we need to understand the data, the drivers, the performance, the measurement, etc. We have a complexity in marketing. Like when I started forecasting in 2007, so it's about 17 years now, I think we covered 12 channels. So the number of channels has doubled, and the amount of spend, we track about $500 billion worth of spend. So the spend has gone up, the channels have increased. So if you're a brand marketer and you're trying to solve for this, you become more agency dependent because you need that outside expertise, especially in emerging channels where it's unlikely that your own team has that expertise. So complexity, new channel development and evolution are some of the drivers that we see keeping a lot of agency services outsourced and frankly, keeping the holding companies and the independents doing well, even as the market changes.